This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake that fire.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust out you.
Same clothes, fuck the same hoes, new levels to the shit. Little nigga, we don't got the same whip.
I want to talk for a second about my cabinet, which was this brilliant company of actors. I wish I knew which camera to look into. I know you're often in a room on the side, but I want to tell you something. You are extraordinary in every way. Don't ever let anybody tell you otherwise. You are limitless, boundless. I thank you for the fidelity of your friendship. I almost didn't make it here. Lastly, I want to say there were a lot of question marks on this role for me, in this show for me, at the start of it, and what cleared it away was love.
We you know, they say, I use this analogy when Justin Timberlake came up here, you know, what they say about Halley's Comet only comes around once every 75 years. And
Right.
if you're lucky to see it twice in a lifetime, then you're truly blessed. But if you're lucky to see it once in a lifetime, you're truly blessed. And, you know, Heather and I had a chance to go see this amazing play, Hamilton. And it's been on our to-do list for a long time, even before, you know, it blew up. You know, I was familiar with some of the people in the play. And then we got to sit like center row right up front.
Right there.
And witness Muhammad Ali in his prime. You know, Jesse Owens, you know, at the 1936 Olympics. We got to witness Michael Jackson when he made Thriller. You know, Michael Jordan when he won the sixth ring, all rolled up in one play. The energy that you feel when you think about those stories is the energy you experience when you're viewing something that you know this is history in the making. In the making. Because it is about history, right? You know,
That's right.
I just thought about that right there.
Get these
And
puns.
then when I start seeing these young actors portraying these roles of some historical characters in our history of this country and explaining the history in a way that I never even got. I don't care how many years of education I had. I never understood what had happened fully, completely, like I got the understanding after watching this play, Hamilton. And there was a man who played Aaron Burr on stage that I watched him. I could feel his facial expressions, every line, every word he said. You know, every muscle in his body was connected to that character to the point where he wasn't himself. Well, today he came here as himself. He's a Tony Award winner for Best Actor in a Musical.
Wow.
Something I bet he dreamt about but never really knew it would actually come to fruition, especially so soon in his life. He's here with us to now celebrating new music and what's next for him. The one and only Leslie Odom Jr., ladies and gentlemen. We got him. Heather, we got him. We said we gonna get one of them on this show. You know, and we got you. What?
I'm so glad it's me. I'm so glad I'm the one.
Well, you're the second one, actually.
Yeah.
But, okay, but what an amazing trip. What an amazing ride. You were born in Queens?
Yeah.
Were you raised in Queens?
Nah, I was born in Queens. My dad is from Queensbridge, so my dad, was born and raised
Borough.
You know it.
Yeah.
And I was born just, a couple miles away in Astoria, and then we moved to Philly because my parents, wanted to buy a house, and they couldn't buy no house in New York, so
So
they
went
moved to Philly,
Okay.
so they could kind of raise us with a little more space, a little more room.
Us, how many of you guys are there?
Just me and my sis, me and my
Just you
baby
and sister?
sister, yeah.
Yeah. And then when did you get the itch to like go into acting?
It was kind of like, for most of us, for a lot of us, it's really people pointing you in that direction. It's adults that are like, this might keep you out of trouble. This will keep you from causing trouble in my class. Go to the drama club, do something, please. Just sit down and shut up. So yeah, it was really that. It was really people pointing me in because my parents didn't do it or anything like that. I thanked. I made a little Facebook announcement when I was leaving the show, and I didn't get to mention her in my Tony speech, but my 5th grade history teacher, this sister, my parents. I used to get in a fair amount of trouble, and my parents never would take a teacher's side over mine. Like, they would always hear me out. Like, they weren't just going to listen to somebody tell them the stuff I was doing. But this teacher, she was You know, I didn't have very many black teachers. This was one of my first black teachers that I had. She had a little fro. Miss Turner, she used to wear her, you know, her dashikis and stuff to school. And she was my 5th grade teacher, and I was getting into trouble. So my dad came and met her, and he told me after that class, he said, let me tell you something. If Miss Turner calls me, you got a problem with me. They trusted me with that lady.
Yeah.
They said, no, this lady, if she calls me, I know you messed up. Don't do it. And so Miss Turner, from then on, she really was the guide. She's not with us anymore. She passed away, but I'm so happy to get the chance to talk about her, because she really was. It was speeches. She started me, you know, writing my own speeches and delivering speeches, and it's just directly related to where I'm at now.
Directly related. Damn, you gotta see. I always wonder, how'd you get here?
Yeah.
You know, how did this cast assemble, and the way you guys have impacted the world, like how did it all assemble for you?
Oh my God, it was really like, it was just watching a team being built, because I came on pretty early. Before I got there, David was a part of it, Chris was a part of it, Chris Jackson, and Lynn, of course. And then it was just watching people. You would watch actors come in and try it out, and they wouldn't be right for whatever, you know, one reason, little ego with them, a little slow maybe on the, you know, because that room, those guys, they can't slow down for nobody. You got to catch up, like, you know, with Lynn and Tommy and stuff. Those guys, the writer and the director, they're brilliant, and so you have to fight to stay at that level. And so, yeah, when somebody would come in like an Anthony Ramos, when somebody would come in like a Renee Elise Goldsberry, and like it would work. You would see. They would never look for anybody again. So it really does feel like being on the Warriors or something. You know what I mean? It feels like just being, a part of a team that wins, you know?
That's a great analogy. I'm from Oakland.
Okay, dope. Okay, yeah. When we're at our best, when we're at our best with that material, we can't lose.
We had Renee come up here. She was actually our first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And,
good choice.
Yeah, right. And and we were talking about, you know, just the hip hop sensibility in Hamilton. It was shocking almost to me.
Oh yeah.
Because Heather and I went, and we were like, do they understand? Like, we were looking around, because we were the two black people in the room.
In the theater.
At that time, we were the two blacks in the theater, other than y'all on stage.
Of course.
Okay, singing and dancing.
Yeah.
I was fucked up, bro.
No,
but
it's
the
true.
truth.
Yes.
I mean, we were singing and dancing. And I was like, I'm hearing references from 10 Crack Commandments. I'm hearing references from Eminem.
Yeah.
The whole cadence has Eminem written all over it. Yeah. And rap can be complex to hear if you don't have a trained ear. But the way you guys presented it, I felt like everybody in the room was like, oh, wow. You know, it made them hip.
Yeah, well, I mean, what you're feeling there is, I mean, Lynn has a real love for hip hop, and he has his whole life. You know, so you're feeling that authenticity. That it's not a leap for him.
Yeah.
That is his language. You know, freestyling and hip hop, that's his language. You know, hip hop belongs to everybody now. So Lynn's a Latin American brother, but you know, like hip hop is authentic to him.
Yeah.
And so we took that message to our bones, to our souls. We present it with as much truth as he does.
Leslie asked when he came in the room, when you told him that we saw it, he said, Heather, when did you guys go? I was trying to look back on my phone, and so it was in December that you and I had went to see it.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting because it was actually a life-changing moment for me. I want to be in the room. When you delivered that performance from that song, I thought about how I was living my life. And a lot of times when you work so much, you're tired. You just don't want to go. Here's another event. Here's another thing. Here's another birthday or another something event. And the authenticity in which, maybe you didn't write it, but the authenticity in which you deliver it changed my life, because it made me say, I want to be there sometimes, even when I'm tired, even when I don't feel like it, I want to be there. Amen. So I didn't know if I was ever going to have the opportunity to say this to you. So thank you. Thank you for that, because since December, that has been something I always refer back to.
Listen, Lynn wrote, this is the truth. And listen, the truth, India said, you know the truth by the way it feels. And the truth is God.
Amen.
Like that is where the truth
Period.
comes from. That is where it comes from. Any kind of universal truth is coming from a higher power, right? So those songs ministered to me first. They ministered to me for years in development of this show. A song like "Wait for It," "Wait for It."
Yeah, man.
That's a Bible verse.
Amen.
Yeah.
What? You know what I mean? And so, yeah, so it's touching people like that because it's just
The truth.
Let's take a listen to this.
Theodosia writes me a letter every day. I'm keeping her bed warm while her husband is away. He's on the British side in Georgia. He's trying to keep the colonies in line. Well, he can keep all of Georgia. Theodosia, she's mine. Love doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes, and we keep loving anyway. We laugh and we cry and we break and we make our mistakes. And if there's a reason I'm by her side and so many have tried, then I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it. Wait for it.
Wait for it. I had to join on that. Leslie Odom Jr. is here, you know, from Hamilton. Tony Award winner, Best Actor. He did this in a lifetime, man. That's incredible. Real quick, you got a new project, and I want to start talking about your music.
Thank you.
I want to talk about your music, and this is interesting. You started a Kickstarter page for this album too, right? Before we do that, thank you for giving me clarity on our forefathers in this country, and you know, and Lynn, and how this country was made and built, and helping me realize I kind of didn't like who Aaron Burr was. And you did a really great job at playing somebody at the end of the day I kind of didn't like.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, man. That's a testament to your acting.
I appreciate it.
All right. You made a big announcement that your contract expired July 9th, is it?
Yeah.
And you're making a big decision to not go back, but hey, why not?
Yeah.
You know, you got other things in mind, right?
Yeah.
Do you have things lined up?
Oh, well, the music is going to be where I put my focus. I realized a long time ago that I have no control over the phone ringing, right? I don't have any control over the wonderful opportunities that are going to hopefully, God willing, come my way because of this show. But in the meantime, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Where am I grinding? And that's what the music, you know, that's where it stepped in. Like you said, we released this album a couple years ago, but there's a difference between releasing a record and promoting a record.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, so we raised a little bit of money on Kickstarter, and we made just something that we loved, that we wanted to stand the test of time. And so I think even these years later, we've made it better. We had, you know, S-Curve gave us a little bit of money, a little bit of time to make it better, and they helped us promote it. They said, my record company president said, so look, I know some of your mom has the CD, a couple of your friends have it. Look, in my industry, this thing didn't happen. Your record didn't happen. So it's like now, you know, God is so good. Now we have a #1 album on Billboard, #1 jazz album on Billboard, #1 album on iTunes Jazz, on some stuff that we've been working on for years.
That's great. But see, jazz is classical.
That's
for,
right.
for a reason. You know, we had Robert Glasper come up recently.
Come
and
on now.
talk about his new project, and it's just a young generation of jazz artists and musicians that are actually kind of pushing it forward now, redefining what is jazz, right?
You got to.
And so I don't even have to ask, why would a man so young do jazz? Because you don't have it. That's not even an appropriate question no more.
I mean, I came up, you know, when I was in high school, the top dog when I was a sophomore in high school was Bilal.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, we went to performing arts together in Philly, and Bilal, those jazz chops are crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So this is what we've been doing for forever. You know, this is, you know, Jill Scott and stuff like that. We've been singing this, you know, because jazz really is just about improvisation. It's just about freedom. You know, there's jazz that's happening at Hamilton. That feels like jazz to me. So yeah, the hip hop piece was actually what was new to me. You know, trying to make that feel like it's authentic to me was the challenge. But this music here on my album is what I've been singing since I was a kid.
Leslie Odom Jr. is here. This is a self-titled album. People could get it everywhere now?
Yeah, I think it's just an iTunes.
iTunes?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Apple Music exclusive for the moment.
Okay, Joey.
Yeah.
Who's Joey?
Joey is me actually in that song. Joey, it's a song from a musical called Most Happy Fella, so I thought that was gonna be the wackest tune. My producer brought that in. I was like, this is going to be whack. And we ended up finding a key, and we found a feel for it that made it work. So yeah, it's about every time it's about this guy that every time he tries to settle down someplace, the wind calls him. She says, Joey. He says, the wind is a woman. It says, Joey, come. It's time to move on. It's time to go. So, yeah, that's Joey.
Let's take a listen. I'm opening up the phone lines, too. 888-742-3345. It's Leslie Odom Jr. Yeah. We're just going to give him a sample, Leslie. Just a sample right now, man. Just a sample.
Something different.
That sounds beautiful, right?
Wow.
No, Sway.
Don't do it. I might want to duet. He's a Tony Award winner. I got to duet with him.
Nah, you're going to make him fail.
Oh, man. Constance on the line from Georgia. Say hello
Hey,
to Tony
Constance.
Award winning Leslie Odom Jr.
Hi.
How you doing, Constance?
I am doing well. I'm really nervous right now. I'm sorry. I didn't think I was going to get through.
That's what's up. What's your question?
Yeah, so I have been watching you for not the longest time, but since you were on Smash. And you did such a phenomenal job. I wanted to know what it took for you, because the Smash character that you played was also really complex, and what it took you, what you had to do to kind of tap into that type of character.
Thank you for the question. It's a great question. I got some great training. I went to Carnegie Mellon University, Patina Miller, Tony Award-winning Patina Miller. I was there with Megan Hilty. I was there with Josh Gad, Matt Bomer, Joe Manganiello, and we got great acting training. So I kind of approach every character like, there's a lot of people that live inside of us, and so it's just a matter of turning something up. With Burr, I turn up my anger. You turn up that jealousy a little bit. You turn up the passion. You turn up the love, whatever it is. And so, yeah, the Smash character wasn't difficult. It was just turning some things up, turning some other things down. But I appreciate that. Thank you.
Great question. Hey, Constance,
phenomenal.
go to iTunes and get his new project, okay? Leslie
All right.
Odom Jr. Listen, it's great music. You could listen, play it from front to back. You won't be skipping any tracks. We got Frank from Chicago on the line.
Hey,
Good morning, Frank.
Frank.
Hey, good morning, Heather B. and Sway. First-time caller. Love the show. God bless you.
All right,
God
Tracy
bless
G,
you.
too. Tracy G here,
Yo,
too.
yo.
Okay, go ahead.
Leslie, first of all, I had a chance to attend the show. It was fantastic. I love what you guys did.
Yeah.
I have one question and another comment. The question I have is, most young brothers that grow up, we're all into sports, basketball, football, baseball. How did you know theater was your calling? And was it something that drove you down that path?
Because I wasn't good at sports.
They wouldn't pick him on the team.
Oh my God!
Kept getting cut.
Oh, I tried all the teams. Believe me.
Yeah.
Ball.
Oh my God!
Badminton.
I was terrible. And I just couldn't find. And look, we're all made differently, right?
Yeah.
We're all made differently, and I was much more. There was something about Michael. There was something about MJ that attracted me. Right? He's a lover, not a fighter. There was something about it that there was something that was more akin to who I was. I couldn't really find sort of I found it now. Believe me, I found it now. But I couldn't find really that competitive warrior in me on the soccer field or on the football field. I found it now. I found it at the Richard Rodgers.
Okay.
I'm fighting for something there. I'm fighting for my
That's
name.
a theater here.
That's right. Yeah, that's what we
New
do,
York City.
Hamilton.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fighting for it on this record. I'm fighting for my spot. So it just was about for me finding where I was proficient.
I'm gonna read something and you can break down what this mean.
Okay.
I hope you can hear my heart on this record. It beats for you. Beautiful. Thanks for giving me a love worth singing about.
Yeah, that's I wrote that to Nicolette, to my sweet. That's my wife. We've been married for 3.5 years. Been together for 8 years. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful, man. Y'all got kids? Or?
No kids yet. We're
Not
talking
yet.
about it.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
yeah, that's been interesting too, like that whole journey, because there's I imagine kids do the same thing. There's all this whole like sort of wealth of knowledge that comes in a relationship. Like you don't really understand a love song until you've been in love. You don't really understand how to sing some of this stuff. I haven't listened to the album in a while. You play Joey. That's what July 9th is about.
Yeah.
It's time to move on.
Time to
for
move
me,
on.
for
Yeah.
in this moment. You know what I mean? That when she came calling, it's really like with these songs, you know, Autumn Leaves was another one, you know, the meaning sort of changed for me after Orlando even. You know, that's a song about missing people. It never occurred to me that it would be about somebody that you'd be missing in that way, but it's a mourning piece too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What song is that?
Autumn Leaves. Autumn Leaves. Yeah,
Okay.
that was the single. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna end our show with Autumn Leaves.
Okay.
In its entirety. All right. Before we do that, Leslie Odom Jr., man, you're a true inspiration.
Yeah.
True
No
inspiration.
idea.
True inspiration. And from Queensbridge?
Cute
my God.
Queensbridge.
Yo, Nas is gonna be happy about this.
40 side or 41st side?
I think he was 40 side.
40 side.
Mobb Deep, Nas, all these
Yeah.
guys.
A lot of people. Molly Mall.
They're gonna be happy about that, man.
Sway in the morning. Only
On Shade 45.